So welcome, everybody. Good to have you along here on Talkback this morning. And Nick Christensen right over there. Good morning, Mr. Nick.
Good morning.
And in the studio this morning is gubernatorial candidate Ryan Busse. Good to talk with you, sir. How are you?
It is good to be back in Missoula. Love it that we got a little rain. That was needed, and super good to be here in the studio with us.
It was perfect timing for me to go all the way out to the dump and dump my leaves in the mud. It was great.
That's the way she works, man.
All right. And we also have Raph Graybill joining us on the phone right now, all the way from Miles City. Raph, good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm great. I'm sad I can't be with you guys, but I got to say the sunrise out here in eastern Montana is beautiful right now.
Good deal. All right, well, it's good to have you. So, gentlemen, we are here to talk about the race for governor. It's going great guns right now. We have exactly 2 weeks before Election Day. So, Mr. Busse, in your view, how's it going?
We feel really good. We just did our 162nd event last night, and like all of our events, we had a bunch of Republicans there show up and say things like, "Man, never voted for a Democrat before, but I love you guys. I can't stand where the state's going. I don't like what Greg Gianforte has done to my taxes," things like that. And I don't want to scare anybody if you come to one of our events, but the fastest way to get a hug from Ryan Busse is to be a Republican and show up and say that to me, man. I'm going to give you a big old hug. So I gave a few out last night.
All right. So what are people most upset about? I mean, especially when Republicans come to one of your events. I'm sure Democrats go to Gianforte's events every now and then too. So yeah,
property taxes are really indicative of what have people upset. Governor Gianforte was handed a $2.6 billion surplus, big bunch of money. He gave big tax breaks away to a lot of wealthy folks like himself, and then almost every homeowner in this state got walloped with a big tax increase. And if you're a renter, your rent went up because of that property tax increase. So that leads with us. We hear that. The thing about those property tax bills, they're what a lot of entities are not these days. They're bipartisan. In other words, they go in a blue mailbox and they go in a red mailbox. So Republicans that show up are upset about that. They're also upset about the way Fish, Wildlife, and Parks is being dismantled and the way our elk and deer herds are being commercialized. I think there's an overt attempt to sell our common resource, our wildlife resource that we all love so much, opening weekend, this coming weekend. For the first time ever, rich out-of-state landowners have special elk tags at the expense of all of us. That's never happened before in this state, and they're not happy about that either.
All right, so to be honest with you, I'm not being a hunter. I'm not familiar with that rubric. What's going on?
Yeah, that's House Bill 635, and there is a principle in the state of Montana that we have always managed wildlife for everybody. So if you're a carpenter or a nurse or a teacher or a mechanic, or you just like the average Joe has exactly the same opportunity as bajillionaire ranch owners. That's the way it's always been, not now. Governor Gianforte passed through a bill that says these out-of-state landowners get special elk tags. That's the first time it's ever happened. The first time. That's the equal opportunity has always stated that Montana residents all have equal opportunity to this. So we no longer do have equal opportunity. And for those people who hunt mule deer, like up in Region 6, it's where a lot of folks hunt, Havre and on east. Last year, there were more non-residents that harvested mule deer there than residents. That's because this Fish, Wildlife, and Parks Commission and FWP is really prioritizing out-of-state hunters over residents. And for those of you who feel crowded out of your elk camps or deer camps, I get it. It's wrong, and I think it's time we manage Montana wildlife for Montanans.
Okay, we're up against our first break. By the way, the phone lines are open. If you have a question or a comment for Ryan Busse and Raph Graybill, they're both here, one in person, one on the phone. Phone lines are open. The number is 721-1290, 1-800-568-5309. You can also use the KGVO app and message that feeling, that thought. Nick will be happy to pick it up and pass it along to our guests. So he'll be here for a whole hour. So if you have a question, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you as the election is 2 weeks away. So we'll be right back after this timeout. Why wait for...
Robinhood's Hood Week is here. 12 days, 3 legendary offers, and unlimited bonus amounts. Earn 3% on IRA transfers with Robinhood Gold, 2% on transfers with at least a $10,000 margin balance, and 1% on brokerage transfers until October 27th. Hood Week ends soon, so visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. 800-555-2085 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-555-2085.
Air Quality Mechanicals, serving Missoula for 30 years. That's right, Air Quality Mechanicals been providing the best in service for Missoula's heating and cooling needs for 30 years. You've heard the term divide and conquer. That's the idea behind Daikin Mini Split Systems. Daikin and Air Quality Mechanical offers zoning solutions to conquer comfort dilemmas in any room. Daikin and Air Quality Mechanical now feature an exclusive 12-year parts and labor warranty on most Daikin products. For a free estimate, contact Air Quality Mechanical. Tough enough to drive pink.
Dennis Bragg with your updated weather. It's back to Sunshine Tuesday, but continued close to normal temperatures. Highs reaching the mid to upper 50s. Clear skies Tuesday evening will probably bring a hard freeze to the valleys Wednesday morning in western Montana, with lows dropping into the low to mid 20s and even the upper teens in some of the outlying areas. Fog may also be a problem for some Wednesday morning, followed by afternoon sun. Then increasing clouds in the evening with a 40% chance of rain. That cold front passes quick, though, and it's back to sun Thursday and Friday.
Okay, we are back on Talkback, 721-1290. That's the number. I'm Peter Christian, Nick Christensen, producing Talkback. And joining us here in the studio this morning is Democratic candidate for Governor Ryan Busse and Raph Graybill is also joining us on the phone right now. His Lieutenant Governor, a running mate, and Catherine is on the line. Catherine, good morning. What's your question for Ryan and Raph? Go ahead, please. We have her?
Press the number 2 button on yours.
I did. Got nothing. Well, Catherine, try calling us again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They put a new phone in yesterday because we've been having those phone issues. So we'll
interesting.
we had Raph, so now the phones are working. So maybe there's Catherine.
We'll try it again.
Catherine, can you hear us? You may have to take it next time it calls. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
One more time, Catherine. Give it a shot.
So press number 2.
Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. We got it. All right, Catherine, we've got this figured out now. Our humble
Catherine, by any
apologies.
chance, are you an IT specialist?
No, I wish.
All right. So what's your question, ma'am? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, North Dakota has on its ballot this time a proposal to abolish property taxes, and other states are also considering that. Nebraska, as an example. What do you think of it, and do you think that's something Montana would go for?
I don't think we're in a position where we can or should abolish property taxes. I will say this: Raph and I believe deeply that we cannot continue to saddle homeowners with more and more higher percentage of property taxes. Our tax proposal is very, very simple. It rolls back property tax rates to 2022 level. So for all segments of the population, homeowners, small businesses, and agricultural owners, there's no reason that we can't do that. The previous 4 governors did that when faced with an increase in property tax values. We believe we should do that. We had a $2.6 billion surplus, still raised taxes on people. Governor Gianforte put that in his budget, and he asked his supermajority to pass it, and they did. So it was an intentional act. We didn't need to do it. We're going to have another budget surplus, and so Raph and I believe very simply we got to roll property taxes back. We can't have them be unfair in the way that homeowners are saddling too much of our tax burden.
But why do you think that we could not abolish that? I mean, what would stand in the way of actually abolishing property taxes and going to some other way of raising money?
Well, that's a pretty big.
It's a big lift.
Pretty big, tall task. There's a lot of things in our society that rely upon taxation of some sort. Our schools and so many other.
Well, I have it right here. It says Montana's property tax system provides important funding for education through local schools, infrastructure, roads, bridges, other local services like fire protection as well. So,
Well, Catherine, I will say this. our state has changed from what it was 50 years ago, where so much of our tax burden and tax base was relying on big industrial companies. It's changed now. We're the top industry in the state is now financial services, real estate, something like that. Agriculture is now number 10, 11, or 12, depending on where you are, what graph you're looking at. So our state has changed a lot, and I think we do have to look at changing the way our taxation is laid upon our citizens, but completely abolishing property taxes, I don't think is a doable solution.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the call, Catherine. All right. So as you're out and about, obviously you've been on the road for a long time.
We have, over a year.
So tell us, if you will, some of the more unusual the questions that you had, people coming up to you and say, and you kind of go, what?
well, I just got one last week. I was in Missoula here. We debated Governor Gianforte, and for those of you who haven't seen the debate, you should watch it. It's on our website, busseformontana.com. You can click on it and watch the whole thing. There are YouTube links there. But one of the questions was, what do you think of the TV show Yellowstone, and have you watched it? That was in the debate. And I got to be honest with you, I've only watched a couple episodes of Yellowstone. I just wasn't a huge fan of it. I know a lot of people have, and it was asked in relationship to how it's increased our population or changed our population. But I didn't see that one coming. I didn't see that. How about you, Rafe? What have you heard that you remember?
Well, sometimes we talk about at these events how we unfortunately have had to sue Gianforte so many times for passing unconstitutional laws, and that occasionally inspires people at events to come up and ask me about their personal legal problems. And I always have to kind of give a little disclaimer, we can do this, but maybe not right here, and we'd have to go through a whole process. And, I actually don't know a lot about wills and estates or about real estate law. I've got a very niche practice in defending the Constitution. But we do get a lot of those. Well, can you tell me, my brother's got this particular issue? And I'm like, oh, gosh. You've sold me as an expert here, and oh man, I don't know if I can answer this one.
This is the downside of having one of the state's best attorneys on your ticket. We often get asked to provide legal services, but no, we can't do that.
All right. So as we move forward, we have 2 weeks left. So what is your emphasis? What are you working on right now?
Well, we're just about ready to embark upon. We're doing our town halls all across the state. We've done them in Great Falls and Billings and Bozeman and Missoula, Kalispell. We're getting ready to embark upon a Highline tour all the way over to Sydney. We're going to do several town halls, and that's important for us. Governor Gianforte has never done a publicly advised meeting where he tells people ahead of time that he's going to be there and then takes questions. In the 4 years he's been governor, he's not done that. We think it's really important to be transparent with folks and to let them ask open questions and to advise where we're going to be. They show up, they can ask us any question. We answer the ones we know, and we tell folks when we don't know, and we'd like to find out more information. But we have in our Constitution the right to know. It's written into our 1972 Montana Constitution. We take that very seriously. That's not just the right to find out what the government did. That is Montanans have the right to know what the government is doing at the time it is doing it. And so we take that very seriously. That's why we're having those town halls. We'll be doing that for the next week or so.
Okay, we're going to come right back. We are taking a commercial break. We have Denise and Buck both waiting to visit with you, gentlemen. When we return, again, our guests here in the studio, Ryan Busse, Democratic candidate for governor. On the phone, Raph Graybill, his lieutenant governor running mate. So we'll be right back after this.
Robinhood's Hood Week is here. 12 days, 3 legendary offers, and unlimited bonus amounts. Earn 3% on IRA transfers with Robinhood Gold, 2% on transfers with at least a $10,000 margin balance, and 1% on brokerage transfers until October 27th. Hood Week ends soon, so visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-555-2085. 800-555-2085 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-555-2085.
What's better than the speed and reliability of Fios Home Internet? getting a $200 Verizon gift card on us when you switch to a Fios 1 gig plan, which includes a 4-year price guarantee. So head to your local Verizon store for details on this limited time offer. Offer ends 11/6/24. Must maintain Fios service in good standing for 65 days and register for gift card per offer terms. One offer per eligible Verizon account. See store for details.
For real foodies, there's nothing better than trying that new restaurant.
I'll have the special, please.
Except returning to your tried and true fave.
Hey, the usual for you?
Especially when you can access over $400 back in dining value annually and 4 times points on restaurants when you use your Amex Gold Card. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Cap applies. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex.
Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/stream. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, permitted parishes only, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, or Wyoming. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777, or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700, or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia, or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York, or visit oasas.ny.gov/gambling. Standard text messaging rates apply. Sports betting is void in Georgia, Hawaii, Utah, and other states where prohibited.
To talk back, everybody. All right, we are back here in the studio talking with Ryan Busse, Democratic candidate for governor. On the phone, Raph Graybill, he's in Miles City, lieutenant governor candidate. And we have Denise on the line. Denise, good morning. What's your question for our guests?
Good morning. I am wondering if there's any conversation we could have about the roundabout in the Bitterroot Valley on Highway 93 at Bell Crossing, and if you would be able to do something to stop the forward motion of the roundabout and bring some sense to that situation. And I'll hang up and listen to your comment. Thank you so much.
Denise, can I ask you a question real quick? Is there anybody out there in the Bitterroot that's in favor of that roundabout? Because I've only heard negative reactions.
No one that I speak to anywhere is interested in having that roundabout financially or physically.
All right. Well, I just thought I'd ask. But gentlemen, your thoughts. I know you drive up that way. You've been all over the state. So if you can picture in your mind a roundabout instead of that big 4-way stop up there.
I've got to tell you, and I'm not trying to be smart aleck here, we have not taken a position on roundabouts. I'm not dove into traffic policy and roundabouts, but I'm happy to hear about it, Denise. I didn't know there was a controversial situation with it down there. I don't know if Rafe may have something clever to say about roundabouts, but don't have a position on it yet. But I appreciate your concern about it.
Sorry if the fact it was a great song by Yes. But anyway, Rafe, any comments?
Canadian rock bands and roundabouts, okay, I guess. Everything else we'll have to think about it.
Rafe, any comments on that?
Well, I sometimes you drive to see Ryan, and if you're coming from the south up in Kalispell, they got those 3 different roundabouts there, and you really get in touch with your car's suspension if you're trying to get anywhere in a hurry because you're careening around on one side. So, I'm sure traffic engineers have a reason to like it, or maybe it's lower maintenance. I think I personally prefer stop signs and stop lights. That would be my personal preference. I think I have an open mind if a traffic engineer wanted to persuade me otherwise. I live in Helena. There is this weird, six-way intersection that the local conspiracy theory is the government won't fix the stoplights because they want to put a roundabout there. So there appears to be a trend in Montana about roundabouts. And again, I don't have strong policy views on it, but I'm sort of personally interested to get to the bottom of why we are converting all these intersections.
Well, it's also going to create a brand new sign, the sign of the cursing motorist.
I've already seen those.
All right, let's get let me get Buck on the line. Oh, I believe Buck is on the line. Buck, good morning, sir. Oh, I got to push line 3. All right. Okay, Buck, good morning. You're on Talkback with Ryan Busse and Raph Graybill. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Hey, Buck. How you doing?
I'm here.
Great. What you got this morning?
Well, I'm on the wrong. They're talking about me on KGVO, and somehow the phone system dumps me to the other station.
No, we're on KGVO. You're on with us, man.
Go ahead.
You're on KGVO right now.
Okay, sorry, it really confused me. Yeah, Ryan, I don't remember for sure, but you some time ago.
You might want to turn your radio down. I think what you're getting is a delay.
I realize that, but there was like I said, the hold was on another station, a little bit confusing. That might be why you're having problems also.
Okay.
Some time ago, and my memory's not that good, I would guess it wouldn't have been a political ad. I think you might have appeared on Talkback once before.
I've been on here a couple times.
Right, and you said you didn't really approve of open carry. Would you clarify that?
Yeah, open carry for firearms. I think that open carry in populated areas is not the best thing in the world. I don't think you need to walk down the cheese aisle wondering about whether blue cheese is going to jump out and grab you. I'm not, I grew up on a farm and ranch, and there were a lot of times when I carried either a revolver or a rifle or shotgun or whatever. So technically that's open carry. But I think in really populated areas, doing it in a way that intimidates folks is wrong. You remember...
Well, my opinion is too bad. The Second Amendment is not to kill a gopher.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with all due respect, I disagree with you there.
Yeah,
sir.
I've never stated that there was any Second Amendment right on gopher hunting. Buck, I appreciate that. I think that, there's no right to intimidate folks either. And people may remember not very long ago, we had a guy marching up and down the streets in Billings with a loaded AR right across from a school. And I don't think that's right. I don't think we should, I think as gun owners, we should stand up and say, hey, that endangers all of our rights, and we don't need kids and parents dropping kids off at school to be scared. So I'm about as pro-gun as it gets, but I'm also very pro-responsibility, and I think that's what all gun owners should be.
Well, would you sign that into law? You can't carry a sidearm in most places openly?
No, I don't think. In most places in Montana are open and rural, so I think that you can do that. I just think that we should, as gun owners, we should be responsible and make sure that if that happens, again, like that guy in Billings, I think we should call that out. I think gun owners should say, hey, man, that's not right. Put that away. Don't scare people.
May I ask a question now? What is the difference between, is it okay to walk into a grocery store and you've got your jacket on and you've got your weapon, your sidearm with you?
Yeah, that's concealed carry. Sure.
Concealed carry. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think that's fine. And I think, concealed carry, you're not scaring folks, kids in the cheese aisle or in the cereal aisle don't see a big gun, and I think concealed carry is fine. Responsible people have been doing that for a long time, and you have the right to defend yourself. I believe in that.
Well, we might disagree on the technicalities of that, but thank you for being honest.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Buck.
Buck, thanks for the call. With that, we're up against another break. 721-1290 is our number, 1-800-568-5309. And I believe Jeff is going to be coming up here with a question in just a moment. Our guest here in the studio, Ryan Busse, Democratic candidate for governor, and Raph Graybill, his lieutenant gubernatorial candidate, is on the phone with us from Miles City. So give us a call. They'll be here with us until 9 o'clock this morning, and then it's Missoula Econ 101. So we're gonna continue this conversation right after this.
Hard water
Robinhood's Hood Week is here. 12 days, 3 legendary offers, and unlimited bonus amounts. Earn 3% on IRA transfers with Robinhood Gold, 2% on transfers with at least a $10,000 margin balance, and 1% on brokerage transfers until October 27th. Hood Week ends soon, so visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek. Investing is risky. Bonus offers subject to terms and conditions. Visit Robinhood.com/HoodWeek for more information. Margin is not suitable for all investors. Robinhood Gold is offered through Robinhood Gold LLC and is a subscription offering services for a fee. Brokerage services offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Dennis Bragg with your updated weather. It's back to Sunshine Tuesday, but continued close to normal temperatures. Highs reaching the mid to upper 50s. Clear skies Tuesday evening will probably bring a hard freeze to the valleys Wednesday morning in western Montana, with lows dropping into the low to mid 20s and even the upper teens in some of the outlying areas. Fog may also be a problem for some Wednesday morning, followed by afternoon sun. Then increasing clouds in the evening with a 40% chance of rain. That cold front passes quick, though, and it's back to sun Thursday and Friday.
Okay, we're back. This is Talk Back. We're having a great conversation with gubernatorial candidate Ryan Busse and, of course, Raph Graybill also joining us on the phone. And let's get Jeff on the line. I believe Jeff. There we go. Jeff, good morning. You're on with our guest.
Morning, Jeff.
Sir. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning. Sorry, I had to tune in late. You may have covered this already, but I want to talk about property taxes and the delusion, Ryan, that you guys seem to be under, that the evil Governor Greg Gianforte and his minions of legislators somehow have raised property taxes, and they would be down if only they had addressed property tax rates, because that's a complete fiction. There's cities don't set their budgets that way. The city of Missoula created a budget.
So little history lesson here.
Can I finish, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to make my point. The city of Missoula sets a budget. And then in order to fund that budget, they have two things they consider: the tax rate and the mill rate. They have to combine those two to get to their budget numbers. The mill rate or the tax rate doesn't drive the budget. The budget drives the mill rate and the tax rate. So you have it backwards, and there's not much. Even if the governor had set the tax rate lower, all they would have done was assigned a higher mill rate in order to get to the budget they needed.
Actually,
so
Jeff, okay.
Fiction.
So that's actually not true. And let me give you a quick dissertation on the folks who disagree with you. The previous 4 governors, so 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, they disagree. Why? Because they were faced with exactly the same situation that Governor Gianforte had. Property values had risen, and those governors knew if they didn't roll back the property tax rate, people would get walloped with a great big property tax increase. So those 4 governors did it. And then we have county commissioners across the state, folks who have been elected largely by Republican majorities in most counties. They vehemently disagree with you. And then, of course, we have mayors, Jeff, who disagree with you as well. Those mayors, including the mayor of Kalispell, who's about as staunch a Republican as it gets, his quote was, "The governor is free to learn about our budgeting process. Until such time as he does that, he better," and I quote, "shut the hell up." So this is just a short list of the folks who disagree with you. And here's how property taxes actually work. They are calculated by the value of your home, which can go up or down. Obviously, it's been going up, times the mills. You're right. Those are things that the city and local government has set, times the state property tax multiplier rate. And it is that multiplier rate that the governor and the legislature control, and that Governor Gianforte decided to increase or leave the same, put in his budget. He asked his supermajority to pass it. They did, and your taxes went up. It's about that simple.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
We have county commissioners across the state, folks who have been elected largely by Republican majorities. And
Jeff, are you there?
We disagree with you. And then
he's got the delay.
Okay, yeah. Jeff, are you there, sir? Hello, Jeff. Okay, let's get Lynn on the line then. All right, so we're going to go. Hey, Lynn, good morning. You are on Talk Back with Ryan Busse. Hi, go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thanks for having me. I wanted to bring up real quick the BEAD broadband access funds that are getting ready to be doled out here. Starting in October, they're doing the application and everything. And naturally, Gianforte, like a lot of other governors and states and everything, legislation, they decided to only allocate that funds to the big existing telecommunications providers that do fiber and everything. And I was curious if you guys had a position on that as far as, retaking a look at the requirements for that and potentially allowing wireless providers to get a slice of that pie, as it were. As Montana is a pretty big state, and there's a lot of area to cover, and wireless providers can do it faster and a lot of times cheaper, cover a lot more people. So I know the NTIA is looking into rewriting the rules on that, so I wanted to see what your position was on that. Thank you.
Thanks for the call.
You bet. We are troubled by the degree to which those contracts have been coalesced and sort of, designed for the largest companies in the state and in the nation. Completely hear you. So the simple answer to your question is yes. We would like to see whatever is most efficient, and with some nod given to Montana companies that can get the job done. This governor has a history of pulling funding from Montana companies and institutions and service providers with a nod towards big publicly traded companies who apparently he's concerned about whether they have good quarterly reports in their in their 10Qs. We don't care so much about the quarterly reports of big national companies. We do care a lot about whether the folks in Montana have broadband. And so I think we would like to see Montana companies get at least a fair shake, if not more than a fair shake. It is Montana after all. And we'd like to see prioritization of the services provided to the folks that program is designed for.
Raph, any comments on that?
Totally agree. And, I think there's been this trend of, selling off public services to these out-of-state corporations. It also reminds me, we got this email leaked to our campaign about 2 weeks ago. Email got sent around by the head of the Department of Public Health and Human Services, the biggest agency in the state. And the director emails out to the whole department, and he says, hey, I need you, one, to tell us things we can stop doing. Okay, so we're paying more taxes and a surplus, and they're saying, what can we stop doing? And then there's some other questions. And then the third question in this email was, how can we use AI to improve government? And so Ryan and I kind of had some fun on Gianforte trying to use more AI. And I went on to AI and I asked it, what should the Montana Department of Energy, which is fake, do in 2025? And AI spat out this whole list of stuff that this fake agency should do in 2025. And we're like, okay, I don't know if we're going to use AI that way. But then I asked AI, how can we improve healthcare access in Montana? And you know what it said? It said reauthorize the Medicaid expansion program. So they got it right the second time. But it's part of this larger trend of treat government just as sort of any other shareholder corporation, sell things off, make people rich out of state, and get rid of the Montana-based businesses. And that is just not an approach that has ever worked well for us.
Well, and that goes along with we just had 13 job services organizations in various towns across the state shut down. Why? Governor Gianforte awarded the contract to an out-of-state Virginia-based call center company named Maximus that's publicly traded and the governor owns stock in. And I just want to be on record, we do not give a hoot about the stock price of Maximus. We care about whether we provide good job services to the people in Montana. Would like to do it with Montana jobs. That's the way it's been forever. Not in favor of closing down Montana operations and costing Montana jobs so a publicly traded corporation in Virginia can have a better stock ticker symbol.
Okay, with that, we're up against another break. We're going to come right back. We have other folks waiting on the line. We're having some phone problems, and we're trying to work through those, but we appreciate your patience as well as the patience of our guests, Ryan Busse and Raph Graybill. We're going to continue on with more of Talkback in just a minute. And please remember that Ryan and Raph will be with us for another about 18 minutes or so. So if you do have a question or comment, it's only 2 weeks before the election, so get your questions out here. We'll be right back after this.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
What's better than the speed and reliability of Fios Home Internet? Getting a $200 Verizon gift card on us when you switch to a Fios 1 gig plan, which includes a 4-year price guarantee. So head to your local Verizon store for details on this limited time offer. Offer ends 11/6/24. Must maintain Fios service in good standing for 65 days and register for gift card per offer terms. One offer per eligible Verizon account. See store for details.
Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/stream. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, permitted parishes only, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, or Wyoming. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Virginia. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York or visit oasas.ny.gov/gambling. Standard text messaging rates apply. Sports betting is void in Georgia, Hawaii, Utah, and other states where prohibited.
Need to replace your Social Security card? In most states, you can request one online with a My Social Security account. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can also get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Okay, we are back. This is Talk Back. Hi, Peter Christian, Nick Christensen, producing Talk Back, taking your phone calls. Ryan Busse joining us here in the studio. Democratic candidate for governor, and Raph Graybill is on the phone with us from Miles City. Let's try to get, should we get Jeff back on?
Yeah, Jeff is back. He got cut off there.
All right, Jeff, I apologize for cutting you off, sir. We've had technical difficulties. Please continue your conversation.
Yeah, by the way, the other radio station is carrying a national show, I think called Brooks and Jeffrey or something.
Okay.
So you know which station you're cross-referenced with.
Thank you.
So back to the discussion. So you're trying to tell me that the city of Missoula, the county of Missoula, Lake County, all the counties in Montana would not have assessed the money necessary to meet their budgets if the state tax rate was just lower?
That's correct. Their budget did not go up, Jeff. The property taxes went up 21% because of home values and the fact that that Governor Gianforte did not roll back the property tax rate. So nobody was running around saying, hey, we need 21% more money. That's not what was going on. The home values went up.
That's not what happens in a budget. The city of Missoula set a budget. The county of Missoula set a budget. They said, this is what we need. And they set the millage to meet
Hey,
that.
Jeff, you're wrong on this. What happened is home values have gone up.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Rafe.
Hey, Jeff, so one other piece I think that's helpful to this discussion. So there's actually a state statute in Montana that prevents local governments from growing their year-over-year budget by a certain percentage. It's actually capped by statute. So you are right, Jeff, in the first instance that, yeah, they set a budget, but they can't grow their budgets at the rate that property taxes have grown. The reason property taxes have gone up 21% on average, we've seen homes go up as high as 111% year-over-year. That is not due to local government budgeting processes because they're capped by statute. The reason those go up so high is that DOR appraiser shows up at your house, says, hey, house values have gone up in Montana. He's got his clipboard. And then the expectation is that then the state will lower its multiplier rate so your taxes do not go up. And that's what Ryan's been talking about. That's what has historically happened because the state government doesn't need more money. There's no reason that if your value goes up, you should have to pay more in taxes. So there's this almost automatic process in the past where we lower the rate if values go up, and all things held equal, the local government stays the same. What changed under Gianforte, and that was different under Democrats and Republicans, is he did not correspondingly lower the rate when the values went up. So these local governments you're talking about, yeah, they set a budget, but they can't grow their budgets year over year by this massive increase we all saw. That is directly a result of the state failing to change the multiplier rate in Title 15. Gianforte asked for it. It got him $259 million additional dollars in the state general fund, and that money got spent on tax cuts to groups like Northwestern Energy. They got a $36 million tax cut from the state they didn't even ask for. So you are right. The local government
you're trying to tell
have
me
a role, but they can't raise.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
You're trying to tell me that the state gets money from my property taxes, other than education. The only money the state gets from my property tax is education money. All the rest of it goes to city and county.
It goes in the general fund.
That's not true, Jeff. This increase went into the general fund.
How?
And Jeff, I'll tell you this, Jeff. If the city of Missoula wanted to raise your taxes, wanted to grow its budget 21%, that's where that state law would kick in and say, no, Missoula, you cannot grow by 21% year over year. This increase, $259 million across the state, largely went into the state general fund, and that's where it was redistributed away from folks like you and me.
Gentlemen, Jeff, we have like four more callers on the line, and thank you for your passion, and thanks for the call.
One more. I'm looking at my property tax statement, and there is nothing on there. There's no line item for state. There's education for the state, but there's no other item that goes to the state. It's all county and city. So I'm not buying it.
All right. Thank you for the call. Let's get Ed on the line. Okay, we're going to go like that, and we're going to go.
Ed actually hung up. So
okay.
It looks like Jim on 3.
Okay. All right. All right, Jim. Good morning. Good morning, Jim. You're on Talkback. Hi. Thank you so much for holding. You are on Talkback with Ryan Busse and Raph Graybill. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Who knows how many acres are landlocked by private ranches and not allowed access?
939,000.
Why is that allowed?
It should not be allowed. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, for those who may not know what Jim's speaking of here, there is a situation we have across the West, and it's particularly bad in Montana. The folks listening to this, if you're a Montana citizen, I like to call you a fellow public landowner. I am one with you. So there are 939,000 acres of landlocked public land in this state due to the fact that there is somewhere a corner of public land that touches another corner of public land that is currently deemed illegal to cross from that, even though we have phones that can get us right down to the inch, right, of that corner, cross one corner to the other. So you step from one corner onto the other corner of the public land and you don't trespass. The governor has deemed that illegal, even though it's clearly legal. You're clearly not trespassing. And there's a federal case in Wyoming that has deemed it legal. The governor still, through his Fish, Wildlife, and Parks director, Dustin Temple, has said that they're still going to prosecute that, and that's still illegal in Montana. So the governor is actively prohibiting you from accessing 939,000 acres of your public land. I think that's wrong. We would on day one deem that legal, and happily so.
So when the general rifle season opens, right here pretty quick.
Yep.
So what potentially could happen out there?
If you right now, if the county prosecutors follow the governor and the Fish, Wildlife, and Park director's directive, you could be prosecuted for trespass simply from stepping on from one corner of your public ground that every single citizen owns to another corner and never touching a blade of grass on the private ground. The governor has deemed that illegal, so you could be prosecuted for trespass for that.
So who has told you that? I mean, how do you know that's a fact?
That's a stated. So Dustin Temple is the director of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and you can look it up. They put out a statement last year. He's not an attorney, but apparently he does have a legal opinion on this. And he stated in Montana that corner crossing is still deemed illegal. That's the position of the governor of the state of Montana.
Okay, with that, we're going to take a break. Come right back. We have Ed and Alex both waiting to visit with you. Again, Ryan Busse here in the studio with us, Raph Graybill on the phone. Only about 8 more minutes. If you have a question or comment, we still have Ed and Alex to get their questions in. We'll be right back in just a moment. You know, of all the business...
What's better than the speed and reliability of Fios Home Internet? Getting a $200 Verizon gift card on us when you switch to a Fios 1 gig plan, which includes a 4-year price guarantee. So head to your local Verizon store for details on this limited time offer. Offer ends 11/6/24. Must maintain Fios service in good standing for 65 days and register for gift card per offer terms. One offer per eligible Verizon account. See store for details.
Hey, we are back on Talkback. Just a few precious minutes left with Ryan Busse and Raph Graybill. I believe Ed is on the line. Whoops, I pushed the button. There we go. Ed, are you there, sir?
Do it again. Press 2 again. Sorry.
Press 2 again.
There you go.
Okay. Hey, Ed, good morning.
Hey.
Hey, the fun continues, sir. What's on your mind? Go ahead.
Well, I was caught in that phone mess, and I don't know if this has been asked, but I'll ask it anyway. How do you feel about Constitutional Initiative 126 and 127? In other words, how are you going to vote on that? Do you think the Constitution really needs this or not?
So, Ed, I appreciate you calling, and those initiatives are a little bit confusing, but luckily for you, I have the state's preeminent constitutional attorney on the phone and on my ticket with me, so I'm going to let Raph take this one, and I think he and I are about in the same spot on this.
Raph, go ahead.
Hey, yeah, this is Raph. So, I think I share a lot of values with the folks who are behind these initiatives, who are saying basically, wouldn't it be a good thing if the political system in Montana had fewer extremists running for office? And I think the idea is, under these initiatives, they hope that you'll shave off some of the extremes on the left and on the right. And I think that would be a good thing. I do not know how it will work out in practice. I do not know if that will, in fact, be the case. I've only really seen advertising for 126. That's the one that says there's a top 4 system. So, like, the top, you don't vote on a particular primary. It's just the top 4 vote getters move forward. 127 then says, okay, if you've got this top 4, the person with the most has to get above 50%, and if you get lower than 50, the legislature will choose who the winner is or what the mechanism is for picking a winner.